In today's video, we're going to be covering the 12 things to know before purchasing a home in Colorado. Not only in Colorado is the healthiest state in America according to Exercise Bike, but also home to 423 open breweries. I wonder if there's a correlation here. We are also known to have over 300 days of sunshine on average per year, but additionally has concerns which need to be addressed and known when purchasing your Colorado home. So here is the bad and the ugly to help avoid buyer's remorse or mistakes which could cost extensive money to correct or depreciation in your new home's value. Number one on our list is expansive soil, or also known as bentonite, which if not detected could cause serious foundation or structural issues. All major population area centers in Colorado are partially located on expansive soils. These soils contain a clay mineral that swells, hence the word expansive, when it gets wet and shrinks or contracts when dry. Evidence can be detected by cracks larger than 1/4 of an inch in driveways and sidewalks, uneven surfaces such as heaving or cracks in the basement floor or foundation, especially horizontal cracks, doors that no longer fit the frames or don't stay open, to severe structural cracks or deformation. It is important that the residents in Colorado make sure that water is diverted away from the home's foundation. Sprinkler systems will not spray closer than 5 feet from the foundation. Plants, flowers, or trees not be planted within 15 feet of the foundation, and the gutters and downspout extensions installed to divert water at least 6 feet from the foundation walls. Typically speaking, some cracks are normal and of no concern, and with new construction normally detected in the first 5 to 10 years of being built. Most basement completion should include a floating wall, which is our segue into number 2. Non-floating walls in basements can push up the floor joists and cause significant structural damage to the floors above and throughout the home. To prevent this, the word floating refers to the fact that the basement walls do not sit directly on the foundation. A small gap between the bottom of each wall and the floor remains, allowing the walls to literally float, so that if there is settling or movement in the soil, and are often necessary depending upon the type of soil on which a home is built. The use of floating walls and a foundation supported by piers will result in a more stable structure over time. Colorado is a highly mineralized state with ample granite deposits which cause a naturally occurring odorless and colorless gas called radon gas, which can seep into homes through cracks in the foundation, buildings, then trap the gas, allowing it to build up to toxic levels. Long-term exposure to radon gas can cause mild to severe health issues if the concentration is at a 4.0 picocurie or higher, which is the set safety guidelines by the Environmental Protection Agency. 95% of all counties in Colorado exceed this level. Fortunately, radon is relatively cheap to test for, around $150, and frequently mitigated. If your home tests high for radon, you will want to get it fixed right away by sealing the base layer of the home and installing a ventilation system. Number 4, between 1950 and 1990, millions of homes throughout the country were built with Federal Pacific or Zinco electrical panels. These were a popular residential electrical panel choice because it was a cheaper alternative to some of the more recognized panels companies such as General Electric and Square D. It was discovered later, however, that these breakers themselves had a high rate of failure in these panels, which means that when a breaker is overloaded, the unit should trip on its own to prevent electrical hazards. However, the breakers simply fail to trip when these electrical issues occurred. Myself and my professional home inspector, whom I recommend and my clients have used for over 20 years, can easily detect if your new home has either of these electrical panels, and then we can require the seller replace the panel or certify it by a licensed electrician whom specializes in this field prior to our closing date. This leads us to number 5 of our list, aluminum wiring. Between 1965 and 1977, 1.5 million homes in the U.S. were built using electrical wiring due to the acute shortage and high cost of copper. Aluminum wire itself is not dangerous when properly installed and can be as safe as copper, but there is a condition called cold creep, which is when aluminum wiring heats up, it tends to expand and then contracts when it cools down. The result is loose connections, which then can cause sparks from the outlets heating up, melting insulation, other warning signs. Aluminum wiring is an easily detected and silver color instead of the orange copper color for copper wiring. When aluminum wiring is present, there are numerous methods used, either rewiring in copper or pigtailing each aluminum conductor to copper. Once again, this condition can be detected through our home inspection and required that the homeowner or seller complete the repair by a certified licensed electrician who specializes in this field prior to purchasing your new home. So now we're at number 6. Electric baseboard heat is not a health concern. In fact, some homeowners prefer that type of heat if they suffer from allergies. However, the cost can be expensive in the cold winter months. 54% of all energy expenses for the average home in Colorado goes towards space heating. Tightly sealed, well-insulated homes can be much less expensive to heat than leaky, poorly insulated homes. Older furnaces and boilers can have the efficiencies as low as 56%, while new units can achieve an efficiency of almost 99%. Electric baseboard heat is one of the most expensive options for Colorado homes, and dividing the heat into zones and properly controlling each zone via thermostat is essential to keeping electric baseboard heating costs down. Up next is number 7 on our list. We will be discussing clay or terracotta sewer lines, which have been used in plumbing for over 6,000 years and are relatively common in Denver and throughout Colorado. Chances are that if a home was built before 1975, it still has the original clay sewer pipes, which in most cases have a life expectancy of 50 to 60 years, or in some instances as long as 100 years. Over time, the ground moves and shifts, creating cracks and eventually breaking the clay sewer pipe. These cracks release moisture, which tends to attract tree roots, which then damage or destroy the sewer line. These issues are easily detected by having a professional company scope the sewer line with a camera. In most cases, I recommend that my buyers conduct a sewer line scope during their inspection process before purchasing, because repairs or replacement could cost anywhere from $3,500 to $20,000. Number 8 on our list is lead-based paint, which were banned for homes being built prior to 1978, and it is estimated that approximately 3/4 of the nation's housing built before 1978 could contain some form of lead in the paint. The paint, if properly managed and maintained, poses little risk. However, if allowed to deteriorate, begins to peel and crack, making paint chips and dust. Lead from paint can threaten the health of occupants, especially children under 6 years of age, and if ingested in large or eaten in large quantities. Number 9 is we learn how Denver had banned lead pipe in 1971, way before the federal government did it in 1986. Still, older cities, homes, and businesses built before this date could have water service lines, and exposed to large amounts of lead can be harmful to health, especially for unborn babies and young children. In 2020, Denver Water launched an ambitious project to replace lead water lines at up to 84,000 properties over the next 15 years. Denver was awarded $76 million by the federal infrastructure law, which will help offset the cost of replacing these pipes, but it won't take care of it all. The Denver Post reports that the project is expected to cost at least $6.81 million, and custom for that bill will include a water hike, but the infusion of these funds will definitely help pay for that. The cash will allow Denver Water to finish the project 1.5 years ahead of schedule. Denver Water's approach to help in this pipe replacement program has been applauded by the EPA. And for number 10, we're up to 10 million homes in the United States during the period of 1978 and 1995 were built using polybutylene pipe in home plumbing system. It was inexpensive and offered plenty of advantages, such as a flexibility, ease of installation, and resistance to freezing over other materials. However, production was ceased in the mid-1996 after scores of allegations claiming the polybutylene pipes were rupturing and causing property damage when the pipe systems formed small cracks over time and eventually allowed leaks. Number 11 on our list, we shall talk about asbestos, which was widely used in homes built between 1930 and 1950 for its affordability, strength, and resistance to chemicals and heat, but was banned in 1977. It is dangerous to human health when it breaks down into microscopic fibers and becomes airborne for days. While airborne, individuals can breathe these fibers in, and since they are so small, they can travel deep into a person's lungs, possibly lodging themselves in the lung tissue. Asbestos may be present in exterior siding, floor tiles, insulation such as around heating pipes, textured paint, and in patching compound used on walls and ceiling joists. It is highly recommended that a property test for the presence of asbestos before completing and removing done when necessary prior to the start of a home remodeling project to protect the health of your family and yourself. And finally, as we come to number 12, since humidity levels in Colorado are nothing like other areas of the country, but there are still occasional issues with mold. The main factors which can cause these issues are leaking plumbing, and in some cases, if behind interior-exterior walls, are difficult to detect unless our home inspector uses a thermal camera. Other causes are ventilation issues, such as improper or insufficient ventilation in attics, crawl spaces, bathrooms, or kitchen. Also, improperly installed or damaged roofing or flashing, exterior landscaping or gutter issues, or lack of proper drainage, such as gutter and downspouts, which we had discussed at the beginning of this video, all can lead to mold growth. In conclusion, my desire is to help your move either to Colorado or from a different state, city, a different neighborhood, or even just down the block to be easy and enjoyable, knowing that you are taking a new step toward bettering your and your family's life and situation. Right now, more than ever, it is important to keep me, Judy Johnson, and my team of experts close. Give me a call or shoot me a text. I always have time for you and are here to share my 28 years of Colorado real estate selling and buying expertise and experience to make sure that you get the outcome you want.